What up, folks? Once again, it's your boy Tim with another ride sharing video. I'm often asked, and this is a two-for. I'm often asked, because I've been a rideshare driver off and on since 2014. As a veteran driver, would you advise someone to rent a car if they don't want to put miles and wear and tear on their vehicle doing rideshare? Would it be more advisable to rent a car and rideshare with that? And if so, what type of vehicle? I'm often asked that question, and on the side note, I'm often asked, why are you such a negative Nancy when it comes to ride sharing? Well, I'll respond to the second question first, and that is, truth is, I do not consider myself a negative Nancy. I'm just giving folks advice in regards to strategies to avoid the pitfalls of this business. You still can make money. And I'll link my video in the comments, well over 100,000 views, somewhat viral, on how you can make money in 2022 driving for rideshare. I have 10 tips and strategies that I believe will certainly increase your earnings and make this business worthwhile if you take that advice. So check that out in the comments. But not trying to be a negative Nancy, I'm just giving you advice because there are a lot of pitfalls in this particular business. So what I suggest renting a car to drive for Uber or Lyft and ride sharing. Here goes. By the way, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so you know when I'm dropping these videos. And as always, I respond to any and all comments. So to answer that question, would I be in favor of, renting a car to drive in ride sharing? The answer is no. Absolutely no, and not at all. And the reason I say that is because if you get into a rental contract, that is a commitment to pay a certain amount per week or per month or whatever the contract is on the vehicle you're renting. That is a static contract. At the end of the week or the beginning of the week, you owe us this amount. Driving for rideshare is not dynamic. It's not static. It's dynamic. Your pay structure changes consistently. And I'm not talking about maybe it's a bunch of passengers this day and not so many that day. That's expected in ride sharing. Certain times of the day, there's more passengers than other times. Certain days, like the weekends, you're going to get more trips than on a Tuesday or Wednesday. I get that. When I say it's static, or when I say it changes and you don't know, I'm talking about the ride sharing companies themselves. What I mean is, if you're in a market and your market is paying you 85 cents a mile, you have no guarantee that Uber or Lyft may not change that 85 cents to 83 cents or 81 cents tomorrow morning. You have no guarantees that your pay structure will remain the same. Having said that, do not enter any contract that is going to depend on your ride-sharing salary. You don't know what it's going to be. Now, this may sound like I'm talking out the side of my neck, or I'm talking about something specifically that maybe happened to me and I'm hurt and disgruntled. I kid you not. It has nothing to do with yours truly. It's about the industry. I'm going to play a video for you. This is from a few years ago. This is a Uber driver getting into a spat with the current CEO of Uber. I believe his name was Alan something. I cannot pronounce it. But here goes, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
It is surprising, Michael. A lot of people talking about this morning. What you're about to see starts as an argument between the Uber CEO and an Uber driver over fares, but then it escalates into personal insults. The video sparking outrage online and an unbelievable apology from the CEO. The 40-year-old CEO seen riding in the back seat of an Uber, speaking with two companions and to driver Fozzie Kamel when things suddenly get heated.
Because people are not trusting you anymore. I lost $97,000 because of you. I bankrupt because of you.
What about
you changed the whole business?
What?
You dropped the prices.
On black?
Yes, you did. Did with $20. You started with $20.
You know what?
How much is the mile now? $2.75?
You know what?
What?
Some people don't like to take responsibility for
I
their...
take
They blame everything in
why
their
you
life on
sending
somebody
an
else.
email for town car?
Good luck.
Good luck to you too.
So what do you think? You think he's telling the truth? I don't know that man. Is not in my market, but notice how similar his story is to what I'm advising you of right now. He's arguing with the CEO stating that the CEO and the changes they made to Uber cost him $97,000 and ultimately bankrupt him. Now, look at what he's saying, though. He's saying that in his market, they lowered the rates from $20 per mile to $2.75, as you see on the screen. Is he making that up? I do not know. I'm not going to speak in favor or against him, but I will tell you this. I've said on many videos myself personally, in my market, when I started doing rideshare back in 2014, our rates were $2.20 a mile. Currently, they are 72 cents. So I'm going to ask you first in the comments, have you seen or heard any veteran drivers, people that have been driving in your market for a period of time, suggesting that the base rates, base fares have went down? My guess is probably not to this degree, because you may have not been driving this long. But if you talk to veteran drivers that's been on the road 4, 5, 6 years, it is my guess that whatever market you're in the country, they probably have stories similar to this. This is why I'm suggesting that it would not be advisable to get into any type of contract that is based upon your earnings as a rideshare driver. And when I say contract, not only renting a vehicle to drive for drive rideshare, but also purchasing one. Going out and purchasing a used vehicle, $250, $300, $400 a month is your payment, and you're going to do that for 3, 4, 5 years. This right here is the problem. You don't know what your earnings are going to be over that period of time. And once again, I'm not talking about busy Saturdays versus busy Mondays. I'm talking about the base fare you earn could literally change overnight. Uber or Lyft, when you try to log in the next time you want to drive, could have it where they're demanding that you check yes to a new terms of service agreement. If you don't accept the new terms of service, you don't get to go on the platform. And if you accept the new terms of service, whatever you're earning as a base fare may have went down 2 or 3 cents. Talk to veteran drivers in your area. You don't need to take my word. If it comes off that I'm being a negative Nancy, feel free to ask someone else in your market if you got access to, and see what they have to say. Or perhaps look up, do your own research online. Find out what were the per mile rates in your area, 2018, 2019. I'm talking about going back as far as 2014. Find out what they were. Chances are you'll see the trend that the fares have been going down and down and down. I've said in my strategic video that based on my analysis, the goal of Uber and Lyft is to see what is the lowest amount they can pay drivers and keep you on the road. So whatever you're driving for today, they will try to find out if they take a few pennies away, would you still stay on the road? That's what they're trying to do. Just constantly been doing that, which is why their turnover rate is so high and why they have to occasionally give you these bonuses, streaks and things like that to try to get new drivers. And the minute that person starts driving, maybe they got into some type of contract, which I'm strongly advising against, and they can't stop driving. I mean, if you go out and rent a car or particularly purchase a vehicle, well, now you got to do it to make up the money to pay for this, which is why folks in those predicaments are driving 10, 12, 16 hours a day. Don't end up like that, folks. You don't have to view my advice alone. I'm giving you examples of where you can go online, like the video I just showed you, and you can hear it from someone else. Just take the word of veteran drivers like myself and others out there, and it might help you avoid some of the pitfalls. As I stated before, you still can earn money ride sharing, but there's a hell of a strategy you need to implement. You just can't get out there and take whatever trip they give you and try to maintain the 90+% acceptance rate that they demand. You lose money all day because they send you a lot of unprofitable trips. Just strategize what you're doing. Now, in the video also, did you notice that the CEO started pushing back on this driver, claiming how much money he lost by saying that some people don't take responsibility for their actions? He didn't counter the notion that rates went down from $20 per mile to $2.75. He suggested that somehow it was the driver's fault that he was going bankrupt and not taking responsibility for his actions, which is what I get oftentimes on the channel. I get a lot of pushback of you're not optimistic enough, or all you got to do is hustle a little bit more. There's some validity to the value of hustling. There's no disagreement there, but make no mistake about it. If you're making $2.20 a mile, like what happened in my market, and it goes down to 72 cents per mile, being optimistic is not going to fix that. Even hustling hard is not always guaranteed to fix that. The rates have dropped so much that I would submit to you, which I stated in my other video about never drive for base fare. In my opinion, doesn't matter how hard you hustle. If you're earning base fare in your market, you're not making a lot of money. You're not making much money at all. If they're paying you 72 cents, 75 cents, 81 cents a mile, which is the vast majority of markets in this country are under $1 per mile. If you're making that type of money per mile, you can drive all day. You're not making shit. You're not making a lot of money. That's the point I'm trying to make. And that is why in the video, I strongly suggest to never, ever drive solely for base fare. They're not offering a bonus, streak bonus, or some type of promo or guaranteed earnings that is substantial enough. Don't drive. Do not drive, because all you're doing is slowly going bankrupt. I mean, yeah, you're making a few pennies here or there, but the minute you need a repair or need to put some tires or something on your car, you're not putting away a lot of money at 73, 74, 81 cents a mile. You're not putting money aside at that shit. You're trying to survive. So I'm sure some folks will come in the comments and try to counter that. Let me hear it. Like I said, subscribe to the program, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell. We can all talk amongst each other. I don't run from comments, but I will submit to you, if you're driving for base fare all the time without a market of that's paying a lot of surges, if you're in Chicago, DC, LA, somewhere where there's always surge pricing, whole different story. But if you're driving in Jackson, Mississippi, or somewhere like that where they don't have huge surges, you're not making any money driving for base fare. You're just not. And folks get in the comments all the time, I've been driving for base fare and I make $2,000 a week. I don't believe it, because it's not possible. How many miles would you have to drive to make $2,000 a week at 75 cents a mile? I mean, how many miles per week would you have to drive to do that? It's going to be in the neighborhood of nearly 3,000 miles a week or something crazy like that. How much fuel is that? How many fill-ups is that? It makes no sense, but people come on the channel and say this stuff all the time. I don't know if they say it just to counter what I'm saying, but I'm just giving you guys these tips and strategies. Do not enter into any long-term contract to do ride sharing, because the contract they have with you can change at any given time. It's your boy Tim with another ride sharing video. As always, feel free to subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell. Work, make your money, but do it with some sense of strategy. Catch you next time.